And I think we are live. Come on in and say hello when you get here. Hello, everyone. This is Jen with Jen's Den Art. And this is my husband, Michael, is here with us today. Come on in, everybody. Say hello when you get here. Pam is here. Hello, Miss Pam. Come on in. Come on in. All right. All right. We got some people in here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Hello, Miss Judy. Hello. Hello. Yay. All right. So I will introduce myself again. Hi, my name is Jen. I am the owner of Jen's Den Art. My real name is Ginger LaCour. And this is my husband, Michael. He's back here with us, and we will be painting today. And we will be spending 10 days together. And I want to welcome you to my annual Acrylic 101 10-day challenge. This is actually the third time that I host an Acrylic 101 challenge. The first one was like 2 years ago. I think it was, 2.5 years ago? It was when we were still living in Montana. We live in Louisiana now, but we were living in Montana, and it was a 30-day challenge. And I about died to have to do 30 days in a row. So we said, all right, we're gonna condense this into a 10-day challenge. And not only that, we're changing some of the components, because as I do this challenge, every year I still learn more, and I have more information to share with all of you. So this year we have even more fun information that we will share. We always paint different paintings every year, but I like to host this challenge once a year, sometimes every 6 months. It just depends on what's going on in the life of Ginger and Michael and all Jen's Den Art combined. So yeah, come on in and say hello. Tell us where you're watching from. Let us know your level of painting. Just tell us, are you a beginner? Have you done some painting before? Just give us like a level of 1 to 5. And let's say, I just want to see the comments coming in. 1 is I've never painted before and I'm just learning. I just want to start learning. And 5 is I've been painting for, I feel good about it, but I just love the community and I love learning more stuff. I do that. I would consider myself a 4, I guess, a 4 to a 5. But I still love going and watching and taking courses and learning all I can, because you will never stop learning when it comes to painting, right?
A lot of 2s and 3s.
Okay, good. Yay. So we've got some 2s and 3s. We've got about a 3, I hope. Good, good. Yeah, good. All right. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to take care of a few things that I know y'all are going to have questions about. We have created a hub. We're calling it a hub. It is Jen's Den Art Acrylic 101 Hub. It is free. It's basically like a website. Okay. And in that website, I just put the link to it in the comments. In that website, I'm actually going to see if I can open. Let me try to get it. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to just take you through. This is what I want to just let you know that we have available. Let's see how to share my screen. Okay, there we go. Share your screen, the entire screen. Yes, yes. Okay, so I just want to take you here. It's basically like a website. Okay, so can y'all see my screen right now?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can see my screen. Okay, so what this is just like a web page, and it's where all of the information is housed for the entire 10 days. It is a one-stop shop for everything. Okay, so you have a little welcome video here. I dropped some videos that talk about painting surfaces, paints and paint brushes, and additional supplies. Those are like videos that you can watch at your leisure. It's kind of like a pre-lesson, I guess you could say, like a crash course. You can watch these videos about all of that information. Each one is about 10 to 15 minutes long. They're not long at all. And then I have all these quick links. So here, if you click on the quick link, you will go to the Facebook page. And the Facebook group is basically, that is the place where you're going to, that's our community. That's where we're going to ask questions. That's where we're going to share our work. And we will also put links in there. The lives are not being housed on Facebook. They are being housed in YouTube, like you can see now. Okay. Another thing we have is a bingo game. If you want to play with us, just click on that link and it'll take you to the bingo game. And there's all the directions there. Just print this out and play along with us. It's a way to keep you active inside the group, especially inside the Facebook group, because you know we love our community and we want to do this all together. So we're going to talk some more about the bingo game in just a minute. Then I have a link to my website if you want to look and see what my website's all about. And then last, we have a link to ask questions and contact us. So if you click on that, it'll take you to a form that you can fill out and you can ask questions to us and we will definitely get back to you. Okay. So I think I just stopped sharing my screen. Did I or no?
Nope.
I'm still sharing my screen?
Yep.
Okay, good. So let me go back. All right. So the other thing we have is the schedule. Okay, the schedule of every day. You can see what we're doing every day. Today is about supplies, and we're going to do a demo painting. And then, of course, we have all the other days. I'll let you read through that at your convenience. We're going to talk about this some more later on. And then here is where we are going to house each one of the videos, which this link right here, if you click on it, if I click on it right now, it's going to take me to my live that's happening right now. If you click on the title up here, it will take you straight to the YouTube live. So you can watch it inside. All you have to do is click on it right here, and then it'll take you straight to the live. This is where we're going to host every day we're going to be painting. So I'm going to put the reference photo. You can see today what we're going to talk about and what we're going to paint. And then right next to that, I'm going to put the painting that I create from the demo, which of course is not there yet because I haven't created it yet. So every day I'm going to put a reference photo for us to use. And this is where you will be able to come back in every day and share or get all of the live videos. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go back to us. There we are. Yay. All right. And then we are going to talk some more. Let me take this down. We are going to talk some more about, let's talk about if you want to play bingo with us, because we are going to be giving prizes away. And if you go to that hub and you print this out, you will see our bingo card. And on the bingo card, it's basically a way to keep you involved and be a part of the community and share your work and support others. Okay, so we have, here's some of them you have to do. It says comment on 3 people, somebody else's floral painting. So we're going to be painting a floral painting. And the Facebook group is where all of this interaction is going to take place. And so we'd love for you to hold yourself accountable by playing bingo with us. And if you look at the directions, first of all, you have a free space if you're a member of the Facebook group, okay? And then if you go to the directions, it tells you this is strictly optional. Print your card out, paint or color any of the boxes that you accomplish during the 10-day challenge, and then add the date. And when you get 5 in a row, any 5 in a row, horizontal, diagonal, straight up and down, vertical, whatever. Add the date that you accomplished it, and then post a photo of your bingo card with the hashtag. I know it's kind of hard to see. This is hashtag GDA, which stands for Jens Den Art, and then A101, which stands for Acrylic 101. Okay, so hashtag GDA A101. And some of the things that I ask you to do in this bingo card is like subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, well, I gave you the link. Here's the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, I also gave you the link. Make sure you follow Jens Den Art Facebook page. All right, well, here's the link to Jens Den Art Facebook page. All right, so those are just some fun things that I'm excited to offer to you. And then if you participate and you share your photo and do everything that we're asking you to do to stay involved in this whole experience, then you will be entered into a drawing, and we have prizes. And our prizes are gift cards to Blick.com, to Hobby Lobby, to Michael's, all of those places where we want to go buy all of our art supplies. So I'm so super excited to share all of this information with y'all. I know right now is a lot of like intro and getting you to understand how it's all going to work. Okay, but in just a few minutes, we're actually going to paint a painting, and we're going to talk about our colors and all of that fun stuff. So I am going to share a little bit more information with you right here before we go any further. One of them is, I want you to know that you are amazing and you can do this. And I believe in you, and you believe in you, and everyone else in this group that is participating in this also believes in you. Okay. It is not, I want you to understand that when you're painting, it is not about trying to recreate what you see from my artwork, for example, or someone else's artwork, or whoever you're taking lessons with. It's not about trying to recreate what they have. I know a lot of us think that when you see a painting like this, okay, we're going to be painting this week. All right. Your job is not to recreate this exactly. It's not for you to have a copy of this painting. It is about you we're going to be using this painting as a reference for the demo to help you learn more about the painting process. One of the things that I love the most about painting and being an artist is that every single one of us is going to be, even though we may be following the same instructor, and we may be, like I'm basically your facilitator. I am not your director. I am your facilitator, and I'm here to help motivate you and share the knowledge that I have. I've been painting for almost 9 years now, and I've been a professional teacher all of my life. That is what my degree is in, is education. And it is something that is very, I love teaching. I just love teaching, and I love sharing what the knowledge that I have to help other people who may not have the confidence or may not have the skills needed, the basic skills needed to be able to feel like they can accomplish something like painting. So I just wanted to share that with you and know that you're not trying to recreate the same exact piece of art that I have created. You are using that as an avenue to help you expand your knowledge. Okay, so I hope that makes you feel better, because I'll get comments in my private membership, and people will say, well, it doesn't look like Jen's, but this is mine. Well, it's not supposed to look like mine. It's supposed to bring out your artistic ability and what's in your heart. That's what it's supposed to bring out. So I want to make sure that you understand that and know that this is a judgment-free zone, a judgment-free zone. There is no comparison between one person's painting and another person's painting. It's all an individual process. I also want to let you know, stay inspired and never stop creating. Don't ever get down on yourself and think that I'm not good enough, so I'm not going to paint anymore. Okay. And Michael, I think you can attest to this as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you want to say something?
There's
Tell them who you are.
So my name is Michael, and I'm Ginger's husband. I'm her proud husband, and I'm a deer hunter, right? And there's a video that I love, and it's two guys in a truck that I follow on Instagram, and they talk about PMA, positive mental attitude. And there's this motivator speaker that I used to listen to. His name is Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he was famous for saying, I don't know if positive mental attitude works, but I know not having one hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that it hurts not having a positive mental attitude when you approach anything that might be slightly difficult, then choose to have a positive mental attitude and go about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I want to say. Does Cindy need to write the colors down, Jen?
No.
Okie dokie.
No work involved for you, Cindy, today. So what Michael does not is not what?
Is your shirt for sale, by the way?
My shirt. It will be. It will be. I made this shirt. Yeah, these are our painted chickens, and I have my little art logo on there. I might have a link for it somewhere. I need to find it. Write that down so I can remember. Shirt link. So what Michael is not telling you is he is a 22-year combat Army veteran, and now he is a mental health counselor for veterans, and he works for the mental health crisis line for veterans. The number, hopefully y'all have heard, call 988. Okay, you may get Michael on the line. Of course, there's thousands of responders that actually respond, but is it 988?
It is. That's
I thought
the number.
so. Okay.
So
So I asked Michael to help me in my lives because he's such a motivator, and art is so important for our mental health as well. One of the main reasons I started painting is because I was caring for my mom who's battling cancer. And it was, I was her caregiver, and we had appointments to chemo and radiation and all that stuff. And in the evenings, she would crochet. She loved to crochet. And I was like, okay, I need to get myself involved in something, taking care of her inside. And so I started painting more for the mental health aspect of it than anything else. And it's just really helped me a lot in my whole lifestyle. So I just wanted to share that with all of y'all. And we have some people giving Michael a shout out. We love you. Send cookies. Wait, that's what you said.
That's what I
Send
heard.
cookies. I went to put this one up. We love you, Michael. So Michael is our cheerleader. Michael is our prayer warrior. We do take prayer requests in our membership, and we pray at the end of our live paintings weekly. We all pray together, and we share a lot of information together in our private membership. And so I just wanted to share that with you. So yes. All right. Y'all ready to get started? Huh? Are y'all ready to get started? I want to show y'all the reference photo that I chose for today. Okay. And this is, let me see if I can find that post I had. I can take it down. This is the reference photo that I chose today. One of the reasons I chose this reference photo is because, hang on, let me get that photo down, is because of the colors. Okay, because of the color scheme. There's not a lot of colors in it. And I'm going to challenge you today. This is going to be a part of your homework. I'm going to challenge you today to not focus on the actual color, the hue. Okay, the hue is the actual color, like red or yellow or green or blue. Okay, don't focus on the actual color. We're going to focus on the different values, the different shades of a color. So it's almost like a monotone painting, meaning that there's not a lot of color in it. Mostly, what's the main color that y'all see in this painting? What do y'all see? When you look at it, what is one color you're like, oh, I need to get that color out from my color stash because we're going to be using that color tonight. Okay. Yeah, you see a lot of green. That's exactly right. Okay. And that is a photo that I picked up from, it's one of those free websites. This one's called dreamstime.com. It's one of those free websites where you can just go pick up, free photos to use for your reference, whatever it is you need it for. And so I picked that photo up because I really liked the fact that it was not really busy. Two, it was a beautiful landscape of a country area that we love. I mean, I'm wearing chickens, so we love the country. Three, it allows us, it really, really helps us focus on the different shades of a color. Not necessarily green, but just, you could even use, if you wanted to, you could use purple on this entire painting. Okay. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the different shades of that color, whatever color you choose to do. I'm going to use black and white only. Okay. I'm going to use black and white only. And we're going to talk about all of the different values that we can use with our black and white. So I want to challenge you for this painting, which we're getting ready to start on. I want to challenge you to take this painting as an opportunity to learn about focusing on the pieces of the reference where there's light areas and there's dark areas. Okay, so that is our focus. It's not on the actual color that you see on the reference photo. I hope that makes sense. We're going to talk about it as we're going. Okay, we're going to talk about it as we're going. And for the week, this is just one last thing. For the week, I'm just going to show you, these are the paint colors that I'm going to be using in our paintings. Okay, so titanium white, Mars black, cadmium yellow. I'm going to show you what cadmium yellow looks like. It is like it's like a bright yellow. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me bring this down. Probably can't see that. There we go. Okay. So you see it's like a bright yellow. All right. Primary red. We did a red color study the other night in my membership, and we really broke down red because to me, it's just a very fascinating color. It's one of my favorites. So I have this is a quinacridone red. It's more towards the cool side, but that's something else we would talk about, warms and cools. We'll talk about that later. Burnt umber, this is just a dark brown. And some of y'all are probably already saying, what brand paint do you use? Well, you can see that this is a Master's Touch. This is a, I see that my screen looks a little dull on this side. I'm going to fix that in a minute. This is just a Hobby Lobby brand. Okay. This is Utrecht. I use all different brands. This is Utrecht. This is a brand from blick.com. This is Liquitex Basics. I use that. That's just, of course, a Liquitex brand. What I don't use anymore is craft paints. But if you do use craft paints, do I have any? Yes. I have like these little paints. If you do use craft paints, it's okay. You can definitely create all of these paintings with craft paints as well. Okay. It's just a lower grade type of paint. You may have to put more than one layer because it's a lot thinner and maybe you're not getting the color that you want. But look, if you're just starting out painting, I highly recommend you use the craft paints first before you invest in these. Like these are, some of them are $6 a tube, some of them are $12 a tube. You know, so if you're not sure if acrylic painting is what you want to do, then I would highly suggest that for this 10-day challenge, just get you some basic paints like this. Just a red, a yellow, a blue, a brown, a green, a white, a black, and that's it. Okay. So, and then you don't even need green because we can make green with blue and yellow, right? So, you know, if you're on a budget or you're new to painting and you're just not sure if this is something that you want to attack, then don't go out and buy all of the expensive paints that you see me using. Okay. And they're not that expensive.
You use expensive paint?
They're not that expensive. They're just, you know. So anyway, the rest of the colors that I have here is sap green, which is a really dark green. I really like using a really dark green. I don't know. I have a passion for greens. And ultramarine blue is very, very vibrant. It's a very vibrant blue. I'll show it to you right here. Here it is. Okay, ultramarine blue. So those are my most popular colors that I use. You do not have to go out and buy the same exact name or the same exact brand. You can just use what you have, or you know, use the craft bottles of any brand at all. My favorite, if you wanted to know the different levels of craft brand paints, my favorite is Folk Art. Folk Art seems to has the best coverage because I'm a heavy body acrylic painter. I use thick acrylic paint because I like the texture. Okay, so I use all heavy bodies in all of my work. All right. Okay. Are there any questions about anything?
Yes. Michael says, Ginger, were you a redhead at one time?
I was not. I was always a brunette. Light brown hair, actually. Why? Because of the name Ginger? Why? Probably because of the name Ginger, huh? All right. I'm going to start putting my paints down so that we can get started. And I don't like to put my paints down. Oh, I know what else I wanted to talk to y'all about before I put my paints down. Another new supply since the last time that I did an Acrylic 101 course. A couple of new supplies that I'm going to share with y'all. I'm going to show y'all this screen. A couple of new supplies that I love to use is what I put my paint on. Okay. What I put my paint on, I have two different things that I like to put my paint on. One of them is disposable palette paper. It's almost like wax paper. Okay. It's just like a sheet. I buy the 9x12s. And after you fill up the palette paper, let me show you some that I have that I filled up. I haven't thrown them away yet because there's still little spots that I can use on them. You can even like take the paint on here and you can repurpose these little paint blobs if you do like mixed media work or something like that. Or maybe you just want to kind of clean off the paper and reuse it again. You can't clean it off completely, but you can kind of, you know, take off some of the paint that you had on there and maybe reuse it. These are super cool. I really, really like using this a lot.
Jen, what you painting on today?
I am painting on an 8x8 canvas today.
All right, right on.
Okay, and this is what I buy. It's 9x12. It's from Blick. and it is called palette paper. Okay, it's a disposable palette, eliminates cleanup. So basically, you just let it dry and then you just throw the paper away. You get 50 sheets, and I'm really not sure how much this costs. It's probably not much at all, huh, Michael?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, and the other super cool thing that I have just discovered and I'm still learning how to use is this. It is called a Stay Wet palette. It is from Masterson, and I have actually just invested in different sizes of this. I do not know where my little bitty one is, but I love it.
Can they get that off Amazon?
They can, I'm sure they can.
I'm going to put your link.
Okay, or Blick link would be even better.
No, well, here we go.
I think it's in the YouTube video. All of my links for Blick
Right.
and so this comes in 3 different sizes. There's like an 8x10 you can buy. This one is 7x8, so I'm wrong. It's a 7x8. You can buy a 7x8, which is little. You know, it's just a little bitty one. This one that I'm using today is probably 9x12. It's pretty big. And I'm gonna show you how it works. And then I have another one that's even bigger than this. I think it's 12x16. When I'm working on a large canvas, I'll use an even bigger one. So what this does is, before I put my paint on here, I want to show you this. What this does is it comes with paper, all right? And the paper it absorbs water, but it does not fall apart, okay? The paper, you can actually clean the paper off and reuse it, but your paint stains the paper, so there's going to be like stain marks on your paper, but you can reuse the paper as long as you want. You just have to like wipe it clean, maybe with like a baby wipe or something. And what you do is, this is soaked with water, okay? This is a sponge that comes with the palette, and you soak it up in water. And you put your paper on top. And like I said, the paper is absorbed. You know, the water is absorbed in it. And so you can kind of see it has like this kind of like wetness. The paper kind of has like this dampness to it. Okay. It just kind of makes your paper damp. And what I do to get out the large amount of water I have in it, I just let it sit in the sink and I hold it. I let it drain. You can see the water's coming up right here. I let it drain for about 20, 30 seconds, and I just let it keep on draining. And then everything is still moist, because what you have to do is you have to fill it up with water to get everything moist. And then you have to like drain the excess water out to get it to the right consistency. So I've had some trouble getting it to the right consistency sometimes, but the more you use it, the more you learn, okay, how much, how wet does my sponge need to be? And so it comes with a cover, which is over here. So it comes with a cover. So if you're in the middle of working on a painting or something and you have all of your paint on here, it comes with a cover, and then you take your cover and it seals really tight, okay? And then it protects your paint from drying out. And so the next time you want to use your paint, you just open it up and bam, your paint is still moist and it's still ready to go to work. Okay. I'm looking for my little one. I don't see it. Here it is. Okay, so this is the one I was using the other day. It's a little mini one. I actually like it. This is the one I was using. You see it has a cover on it. So I'm going to show you my paint. Well, I might show you my paint. Can you try to open this, please?
Yes, I can.
Not open it. While he's doing that, I'm going to put the rest of my paint colors on here. This is a red. I'm using quinacridone red. I'm just showing y'all a couple of different paints, even though I know I said I'm only going to use black and white. I'm going to put my white, I'm almost out of this white. This is a titanium white Liquitex Basics. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so this is my paint that I have saved. See, I had a little bit too much water on the bottom of my Stay Wet palette because you see how the paint kind of got runny. So I'm still learning how to use these palettes, but all of my paint's still damp. And this has been like 2 days since I've used it. Yeah, so you just keep it covered. And someone had asked me once before, what about like mildew, you know, because of the water? Well, if you spray some, oh, darn it.
What do you need?
Peroxide? Is it peroxide?
No.
What was it I bought and I put in here? I think it's hydrogen peroxide.
No idea.
If you spray it with hydrogen peroxide, it won't get all mildew. It'll stay, you know, it'll stay good. I haven't had an issue with it at all, so I'm just sharing some different paint colors with y'all today because I'm kind of almost out of paint. Look at this. I'm having to dig all the way down to the end. You do not need a lot of paint at all. I'm sure y'all are seeing that. This is ultramarine blue. This is what's called a hooker's green. I'm just about out of all of these colors. No questions? Everybody's okay?
Not yet.
All right. And this is a carbon black. It's a carbon black. And I don't think I'm going to be using, oh yeah, cadmium yellow, the other color.
So Lynn says Jen needs to go shopping. We're going to delete that comment. Donna says, was the photo website Dream Times?
Yes, Dream Times, I think it is.
No, yeah. Cindy said you need to go shopping too. I'm going to delete that comment.
Okay,
Lisa,
so I am going to be using an 8x8 canvas. All right, I'm going to be using an 8x8 canvas. And what we're going to do, we're going to start from scratch and we're going to work our way. We're not using a template. This does not call for a template. You can basically look at it and see that it's a very basic painting. There's not a lot on it that we need to you know, have a template for. All right, but I love it. I just love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to use a medium-sized paintbrush here. I like to use flat paintbrushes.
What you need?
I'm just looking for the right size flat paintbrush. I'm going to use one kind of big. So how many of you have been following me for a while? Or let me ask this. How many of you, this is the first time that you watch me paint? Okay, or just let me know, are you familiar with what I do? Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of green just because I put all of these colors on my paint palette because, to be honest, I forgot that I told you I was only going to use black and white, and then I started putting all these colors on my palette. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should just use more colors since I put all these colors on my palette. But I can also cover the Stay Wet palette and just use them another time. So what are our answers to that?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
First timer, first time.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this is just a really basic 8x8 canvas here.
Oh.
And I'm going to start by just kind of drawing with my paintbrush. And I'm going to look at, if you look at this reference photo, it's much more horizontal than my paint area is. So we're just going to cut it kind of short and we're just going to kind of squeeze it in a little bit. Okay. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm noticing that I have a pretty nice horizon that's almost right in the middle. Okay. It's almost right in the middle. And this tree is in a perfect area for great perspective and composition which is another reason that I chose this. I'm drawing with my paintbrush. That's all I'm doing. Okay, and then I'm gonna have a fence line right here. Now, I want you to understand why I'm doing this. The only reason I'm doing this, I'm not gonna be using it to actually paint my painting. But what I am doing is I'm giving myself a guide for the composition of my painting. So I'm actually just kind of like imaginary stamping the canvas so that I have a good idea of where everything is going to go. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm just trying to give my eyes and make sure that the perspective. I don't think I'm going to put this fence, or maybe, I don't know. Y'all let me know. Do you think I should put the fence in there?
You can't hardly determine what that is, you know?
Yeah, it looks like maybe a gate or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all let me know if you want me to put the gate in there or not. So I'm just kind of giving myself a guide. We're going to have some trees back here that are going to be a part of the painting as well. Okay, and that's a pretty good guide. And now here's the next thing I want you to do. I'm going to clean that off. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to start looking at your paints. Whatever color you decide to use, if you're using a variety of colors, that's great. But I'm going to try to focus more on just black and white. And I've already started digging into this green right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make different values of the black with that.
TDD Fowler had a great comment. It looks like the back of a wagon to me, and I like it because it moves your eyes.
It does. That is a very good point. It does move your eyes, doesn't it? It makes you look at it and say, what is that? Yeah, what is that? And that's the great thing about artwork. You know, you can just allow the viewer to decide what they want it to be. Do they want it to be a fence? Do they want it to be a gate? Do they want it to be the back of a wagon? You know, that's a viewer's perspective.
Make it your own.
Yes. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just taking my black and I'm adding some white to it, and I'm making it a different value. Okay. So I'm making it just a little bit lighter than black. And then I'm going to pull some of that paint. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more white to it. And I'm going to make an even lighter shade. And I'm using a little palette knife to do my mixing. Okay, and then I'm going to add some more white. And go even lighter. So you can see all of the different values of black that I'm actually creating. And then I'm going to make one more, and then we can kind of like work in between that as we go. So I'm basically making like 5 different shades. But you can make 10 or 12 different shades. Totally up to you. But I think we have pretty much enough here. Make this one a little bit darker. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to use these shades to help me block out my painting. And one of the greatest ways to do that, if you are really trying to, well, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. You can squint your eyes and you can look at the photo and you can try to see, okay, well, I'm gonna focus on darkest first. Okay, where are the darkest values in this painting? Well, the first thing I see, my eyes are drawn way back here. It's really dark. So I'm not gonna use solid black. I'm gonna use the next color. Okay, the kind of like really dark gray. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want to start with what I think is my darkest dark and then realize later, ooh, I need this to be even darker. I want to give myself a little bit of room to be able to still go darker if I need to. Okay, that's just a personal preference of mine because I've gotten stuck before in situations like that where my whole painting using solid black and being the darkest of darks prevented me from being able to go darker in other areas that should have been darker. So I hope that makes sense with y'all. So I'm using something that's a little less dark. Okay. That's just a little trick that I've learned through the process. All right. Just a few areas down here. I'm just using a flat brush. It's kind of like a medium size flat brush. I should probably use a little bit larger brush. I think I am. I feel like I'm working. The smaller the paint, the end of the paintbrush is, the less room you have for that looseness. Okay, so this one's a little bit too big. Let me find one in between. Let's see. Here's a good one. All right, so I'm going to go with this size. That looks like a good size. This is, I guess it's about 1.5 inches. I don't know. It's a Royal and Langnickel number 8, if you were wondering. And it's a bright brush or a flat brush. It looks more like a bright brush. A bright brush has just shorter bristles than a flat brush does. Okay, so I'm going to go even lighter, and I'm going to kind of I'm looking at this tree line back here. I'm going to go just a little bit lighter, and I need to go even lighter than that. So I'm going to add some white. So if you notice, the tones right here, the values here, are lighter than what I just did over here. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pick up those lights. And that's a little bit too light. So we're kind of playing around a little bit with the different. See how I'm kind of going back and forth in this area? And I'm just going to kind of let's go a little bit darker right in here. Okay, so you can see the darker areas versus the lighter areas. And the value of these trees back here looks like it's about the same value as some of this grass right here as well. So I'm going to use that same value in this area. And you're going to see that we're going to talk about value a lot, because the value of your colors is going to make a huge difference in the depth of your painting. I'm not covering it completely. I'm just covering it kind of covering it. Is that a word? Look, I even have a darker area right here where the shadow of that tree is happening. So I'm going to add that because I see that darkness right there.
Do you squint your eyes to see the value rather than detail?
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
Man, Ginger's. That was from Ginger Slate.
Ginger Slate. I like your name, Ginger. My daddy named me from Gilligan's Island. My daddy was the culprit. All right, I really like that. I like what's happening. And if we were going to add this, I almost didn't mix enough paint, so I'm trying to add a little bit of water to it. If we were going to add this fence right here, I'm going to come in here with a couple of different shades. Now, again, I'm using black and white just because I am demonstrating to you
Mhm.
how I'm focusing on these different values. You have more opportunity, or you don't have to use black and white is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to be all formal in what I'm trying to say, but it's not working. So I have to talk Louisiana slang. And that means you use whatever colors you want. If you want to use the real colors, the green and the blue sky, then by all means do so. And I may even come back with some of those greens and blue sky. But right now I just want to show you like the different shades that I've decided that I see. Okay. So I'm just painting in what we call, it's like a monochromatic scenery. Does that make sense?
It does if you know what that word means.
So I want you to notice I'm going from the darkest values to the lightest values. And guess what? I forgot about my tree over here. So I'm going to come back to a little bit of some darker values for my tree, the top of the tree and the base right here. But the main thing, I don't have enough paint mixed together. I'm going to mix some more.
Can you repeat the reason why you were saying value more? She said something like value of our color makes a huge difference in something.
I don't remember what I said. The value. Oh, in depth, in the depth of your painting. It'll allow your painting to look like, like way back here is, it allows the depth. And you know what depth means, right? I don't have to explain what depth means. I'm trying to explain what depth means, but I really don't have to. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this tree has different values in it. Some of it is dark and some of it is light. So you can, even though I'm only using black and white, you can still see that I am creating depth in this painting just by the fact that I'm adding different shades of that one color. This is probably one of the most important components of painting that I have learned through the years, is about the different shades, which if you are a professional artist, you don't call it shades, you call it it's different values. It's from the light to the dark is basically what it is. Okay. I think I have, no, I do not. I thought I had it in here. I thought I had a value scale, but I don't have it. I took it out. So y'all can kind of see this kind of maybe is a little bit bigger and maybe a little bit lighter. Okay, so now I'm going to go to like what I consider my next value. And my next value is just kind of like, I'm going to call this 5 and this was 4. So this is 3. I'm kind of in my number 3 area. And I see that I have some of these values in here. It's like just the next to light color. Does that make sense? I have some right here. I've already kind of touched on all of that back there. I have some in here. There's not a lot of that 3 area, right? Just maybe a little bit in here. All right, now I'm going to go to the level 2. So I'm just calling this level 2 because remember I made 5 different piles of different colors. Okay, so I'm going to go into the second to last color. And I kind of feel like this area right here is probably about that color, right? So to me, this color right here, when I spend my time focusing on this painting, or this reference, I see a lot of that color in my painting, probably more than any other, let me not say color, shade. I see a lot of this shade in my painting, probably more than any of the other values. Okay. Even up here, I see that value. Even though it's blue, I still see it at this shade. Because if you look at it, the sky and the foreground right here, the ground, they're about the same value. They're just a different hue. So I'm just going to start putting this sky. Remember, I'm basically pretending that I've taken this photo and I made it a black and white photo. All right, and then that same color is going to come down here. I thought this would be super fun for y'all to help with color study.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And Michael, you can see it really well.
It looks fantastic. I think every one of your paintings should be this color.
So another thing about Michael that y'all need to know if you're new, Michael is color deficient. So we have tried to get him to paint with me, but he refuses because his reds look like grays and his greens look like grays.
You know, darker shades of gray.
Darker shades?
Yeah, depends on what color it is.
So he's loving this painting right now because
it's gorgeous.
He's seeing all the colors that he sees every day. So can you see all those different values, baby? You like them?
If you mean the lighter shades of gray versus the darker shades of gray and the black and white, yep.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we call values.
Well, I'm not a professional artist, so I call them shades.
But I've been teaching this for like 30 minutes now, so I'm sure by now you know it's called values,
yes,
right?
I know. I'm sorry.
Now you see the rest of the story, right? Who used to say the rest of the story? I'm sure y'all know that. I wanted them to answer. Oh. And now you know the rest of the story.
Well, he would say, and now the rest of the story.
I'm just trying to blotch in some of these lighter colors. All right. Now we're getting down to the light grays. You can see like right here, really light grays. So how fun is this that we can create this painting with one color, well, two colors actually, black and white. And we can still see the whole landscape design of the painting because of the different values that we are using. Now, we're going to go even lighter than this. We're going to use solid white as well. But right now, I'm just using kind of like the last shade of the really light colors. Maybe a little bit in here. Now I want you to see what I just did. I added those different shades and now it kind of gave it a little bit of a hilly look as well from doing that. So I'm going to come in here. And so you'll notice, see how that just adding those different shades of that same color makes it look like there's a little bit of some hills, like rolling hills happening in this painting. Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. I just think that's so amazing. I love talking about it. I love teaching about it because I just love the whole concept of all the different values. So right now I'm just kind of filling in some areas that I missed that were not colored in or painted in. And then I'm going to go to the super bright colors that I see. And the super bright colors, oh, I see I missed this right here. Wait, let me finish. I'm going to come in, do this. A little bit more. And so now I'm looking at the really, really light colors in the photograph. And some of the ones that I see that are really light are the road. So I'm going to use just white for this. The road right here, you can see is like just really white lines. Okay. And then down here, I find I have super bright, like almost like sandy dirt down here. So I'm just dipping into my white there. I know y'all can't see that. Let me show you. And then I even see some little sky pieces sticking out back here that maybe should be white. Even in the tree.
Nice.
See, it's almost, some of the clouds are showing through.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to bring some clouds out here. I'm not going to make them exactly like, I'm just using the same paintbrush. I'm just using like the corner of the paintbrush.
Paula says, wow, I stepped away for just a minute and the painting came to life. Wonderful.
Isn't it cute how, you can add all these different shades? This is my favorite part about painting, is how you can see all of these different shades of, or it's like a color study of values, basically, is what we're doing. And if there's one thing that y'all are going to learn this week, is how to work through all of those values, because I do spend a lot of time talking about that. And we're going to use them in actual, colored paintings as well. Every day we're going to do a small painting and we're going to focus on a different component of artwork. Like one day we're going to work on discussing perspective, and the painting that we do will focus a lot on the perspective in that particular painting. And, all of those good things. I don't remember what our schedule looks like, but, just bringing in a few of those medium shades in here. And I feel like there's not enough contrast between these trees back here and the ground. So I'm going to make this area right here just a little bit lighter. See how that just made it pop that fast? I just made it a little bit lighter. And just because we put one layer down doesn't mean that that's the only layer that you need to put. Also, we didn't put the fence yet. So I'm going to have to go back and put that fence. And I almost feel like some of these areas in here can go a little bit lighter as well. Okay, so for my fence, I'm going to go down to a smaller flat brush. And I'm going to focus on the really bright areas first. So let's see. I'm going to start about right here. And I'm using a flat brush that's a lot smaller. I'm just going to make like a line. And then I'm going to make another line right below it. Can't see it that much, but it does, like it gives you the impression that there is something there, right? Then I'm going to go a little bit darker. Now this is where it gets a little challenging because you want that fence to show. So you need to make sure you change your values in the fence so that it doesn't blend in with the background, like the fence post. It's kind of cute. It's not exactly like the fence, you know, the fence, but just kind of add that grass right underneath it to be a little shadowy. And this is an excellent color study value. I mean, I'm just so excited about it. It's just so much fun to me to teach y'all this kind of stuff. Okay, so I want you to notice also, I want you to focus on my painting and the tree trunk and the photos tree trunk. And what do you notice? There's one thing that I noticed that I need to fix. Do any of y'all notice anything that I need to fix? If you look at the tree trunk and the surrounding area of the tree trunk. I'm going to actually do it while we get the comments coming in. Because maybe y'all get it too. I'm hoping y'all do. LOL? Oh, that was you.
That was me. That means laugh out loud.
Yes, thank you very much.
It means laugh out loud, out loud, out loud.
Laugh out loud, laugh out loud, laugh out loud. Laugh out loud, out loud, out loud.
Contrast. Trunk is much darker.
Yeah. See? Okay, look what I'm doing. You see how the edge of, in the photo, you can see that there's a lot of brightness around the trunk of the tree, and I did not have enough brightness around the trunk of the tree.
That's what Tara said. It's too dark and needs lightning.
That's exactly right. Who said that?
Tara.
Yes. Yay, Tara. I love teaching y'all, and I mean, I know some of y'all already know this and you're watching because you're like me, you just love painting and you want to learn more. But now I'm coming in with just a little bit. You see how I allowed myself an opportunity to come in with a few darker, like really dark areas.
Don says add more grass.
Yeah, that'll do. See how I'm allowing myself to go even darker in a few little areas. And I love that idea. And then it just kind of makes everything pop even more. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to add just a little bit more right on the base.
Clay says, I don't know. This is great.
What do you mean?
And Clay, well, I'm the same way. It's like, okay, so what that the trunk is not dark. It looks great. Leave it. Don't touch it.
Yeah, right? Michael tells me that a lot while we're painting in the membership. He'll be like, okay, stop. I'm like, wait, I got to fix this little part. I could paint for hours and hours on one painting, but I don't like the way this looks right here.
Gail said, I feel like I'm watching Ansel Adams paint.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
What?
I don't.
Gail, don't say anything. I'm gonna show her Ansel later on.
I follow Jed Dorsey. I love his paintings. I cannot paint like him, but I love his paintings. And Diana Shine, I love his paintings. I love her paintings as well. And Ginger Cook, I follow her as well. I love her paintings. And I like to just, I don't paint their stuff, even though I'm a member of their groups. I like to just watch and learn techniques. And oh, that's cool. I never thought about that, you know? So that's kind of how I use their sites as well. And they have great inspiration as well. So, all right. I'm getting close to being done. What do y'all think?
There's one thing I want to point out.
Okay.
And I didn't see it, but
What?
now that I see it, I can't unsee it, and everyone loves it.
What?
That cloud on the far right, smiley face, and we love it, and we want it to stay.
The cloud on the far right has a smiley face?
Yeah, right there.
Right here?
No, down. Right there.
I don't see it.
You don't see the eyes and the mouth?
Oh, I see it. I see I see this is a bird. Do y'all see that as like a big eagle or something? I'm just coming in with a few little darker areas right here on this fence line. Okay. I think I'm done. I hope that you learned something about values. I know that my shade area is pretty big right here, but I'm just going to leave it. I have a tendency of painting. I'm going to show my face again. And Michael, you're coming back on the screen, so just want to make sure you're not doing anything that you shouldn't be doing. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure you knew I was coming back on the screen. I have a tendency when I paint round things. I'm very fat about them. Like birds, they will be like extremely fat, and like bunnies, my bunnies end up being like really round and fat. So I think I just went a little overboard on my round and fat area here. Okay, guys, I want to challenge you to do this. You can use this reference photo, or you can use any reference photo that you want. Maybe you want to use something else that's more passionate to you, and maybe it's not a country road landscape, okay? But the concept is what I want you to practice. I want you to practice. It doesn't have to be black and white, although black and white is probably the most universal that you would do this kind of painting with. You can use brown and white. You can use green and white. You can use red and white, whatever you want. Just make sure you choose one color and add white to it to make it lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And then try to paint something like this with all of your different values. You can also take your reference photo and you can convert it into black and white, which I should have done for this one. I think I'll add that to the hub. I'll convert it to black and white as well, so you can see how I was able to see all those different values that we came up with. Okay, so I hope this helps you with all of those different shades so that you can see how you create depth just by the lights and the darks of colors. It's not about the color, it's about the lights and the darks of the colors. Okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed this. Make sure to come back tomorrow for day 2. And in the meantime, your homework is to do something like this on anything. It doesn't have to be on a canvas. It could be on mixed media paper. It could be on a piece of cardboard. Anything. The painting surface is not relevant in this at all. Okay? And I highly encourage you to post your comments, your paintings, all of that kind of stuff in the private Facebook group community, so we can all share and learn from each other and ask questions and support each other. And we have more fun coming tomorrow as well, and prizes are in the future as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to turn it over to Michael for a minute, because he always has like last words to everyone. That's always inspirational. So are you ready, babe?
Yes. Hey, so guess what? I've said this before to Ginger's tribe. She has a mini tribe and she has a full tribe. I've said this to them before. You had a choice whether to be here. And our goal for you today was that you would leave this hour plus time with us better than when you came, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And if you will allow me just one more 30 seconds so that I can pray for all of you, because I got all your names down and I do want to pray for you. Father God, we thank you for this afternoon you have given us. We thank you for the time that you allowed us to make new friends and to show that you, oh Lord, have given us all. You have given us the talent and the sight and the ability to enjoy what is before us. Father, we ask that you bless us throughout this evening, and we ask all of this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all for being here tonight. Remember, we're going to be painting this the last 3 days. We're going to be painting this the last 3 days. We're going to be painting on an 11 by 14, and we're going to provide a template for those of you who want a template for this painting. All of the other paintings that we're doing, we're not providing a template. You're just going to have fun and paint with us.
Right on.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here tonight. We can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Y'all have a great evening.
Mwah.
Bye-bye. Oh, and this is you have access to this video the whole month of February.
Right on.
Okay. If you are a member of my email, you will get a link to the replay, and you will have access to it for the whole month of February. So y'all have fun. Bye.